This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. GM is going to write off $1.6 billion of its investments in EVs. The money covers stranded manufacturing capacity and fees to cancel contracts with suppliers. The charge will apply to the last quarter, and we believe just about every automaker will have to write off a portion of its EV investments, which CEOs hate to do. Those write-offs lower the assets on their balance sheets, which in turn reduces shareholder equity. And one of the trigger points for a CEO's bonus is typically boosting shareholder equity. Yesterday, we showed you that new Toyota Century concept, and now we've learned that Toyota is using it to launch an all-new luxury brand positioned above Lexus, targeting the likes of Rolls-Royce and Bentley. Toyota has almost always used the Century as a premium sedan, but now it will become its own standalone brand with at least a sedan and SUV as part of its lineup. And it sure sounds like Toyota will take the brand worldwide. We've got some new product intel from Auto Forecast Solutions about that new midsize pickup coming from Ram. It'll be built on the Stella Large platform under the program code R7PNN. Production will start at the Belvidere plant in February of 2028. But we wonder if that truck will sell well enough to keep that plant open. The midsize pickup segment is really crowded. Will the new Ram expand the segment or just slice it thinner? We think that unless Stellantis adds another vehicle to that plant, it will operate well under capacity, and that threatens its long-term viability. Iconic battery maker Duracell is jumping into EV charging. The company is launching its first EV charging network in the UK, with the first of 6 sites opening by the end of the year. The plan is to have 100 sites by 2030 that each have at least 500 fast chargers capable of putting out 400 kilowatts. The network will be built by the EV Network, which has also developed charging points for BP, while the sites themselves will be operated by Electrocharge. The Chinese car market is about to become even more saturated. JD.com, which is like the Amazon of China, has partnered with a subsidiary of battery maker CATL and the Chinese automaker GAC Group to launch a new car. The oddly named National Good Car is a rebadged version of the GAC AION UT and will be sold exclusively on JD.com's website. The AION UT debuted earlier this year and has a range of up to 420 kilometers or about 260 miles with a starting price just under 10 grand.
Discover more than 300 best-in-class automotive solution providers this fall at Automotive Testing Expo and Automotive Interiors Expo North America. You'll see solutions for data acquisition, durability testing, electric and hybrid powertrain testing, ADAS testing, and more at Automotive Testing Expo. While at Automotive Interiors Expo, you'll see the latest in materials and coatings, smart textiles, ambient lighting, HMIs, and more. Join us from October 21st to 23rd at the Suburban Collection Showplace, Novi, Michigan.
Stellantis is partnering with Chinese automaker Dongfeng to develop a new Jeep SUV. Stellantis will be responsible for the styling, while Dongfeng will provide the powertrain, infotainment, and autonomous driving. It's possible that the model could adopt technology from Dongfeng's recently launched M-Hero 817 SUV. It's a plug-in hybrid that features a 1.5-liter engine with 2 electric motors that combine for 505 kilowatts or 677 horsepower. The setup offers a pure electric range of 215 kilometers or 133 miles and a total range of 1,365 kilometers or nearly 850 miles. The new Jeep vehicle with Dongfeng tech is expected to launch in the first quarter of 2027 in China, but we think it's unlikely that it would be sold in North America. Last week, we reported that Jeep is dropping the Wagoneer from its lineup and will only use the name Grand Wagoneer for its big SUV. The model will now be offered in 6 trim lines, with the base version, now simply called Grand Wagoneer, starting just below $65,000, including destination charges. That's about $2 to $3 grand more than the old base version of the Wagoneer. But there's actually bigger news for the Grand Wagoneer lineup. It, not Ram, will be the first to get Stellantis' extended-range EV powertrain. The system uses the company's 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 with a generator in place of the transmission, which can either send electricity to the battery or the electric motors. The Grand Wagoneer version will feature a 92 kilowatt-hour battery pack and a 20-gallon gas tank, which will provide over 500 miles of range. Total system output comes to nearly 650 horsepower, and the big SUV will be able to sprint from 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds. However, Jeep still doesn't know when it will come out with the setup. It says it will reevaluate the market in the first quarter of next year and then decide what it's going to do. That's also the plan for its high-output version of the Hurricane engine, which will not be an option when production of the new 2026 models start later this year. Mercedes revealed what I think is a beautiful concept car called the Vision Iconic, which kind of looks like a new age version of a huge two-door coupe from the 1930s. But beyond its good looks, this car has some cool tech. The company is researching a solar coating that can be applied to the paint and provide up to 12,000 kilometers or about 7,500 miles of additional range a year. It's also working on some innovations for level 4 autonomous driving. But the most interesting to us is neuromorphic computing. This tries to mimic how the human brain operates to speed up the computing system while also increasing efficiency. Mercedes claims neuromorphic computing can cut the energy required for processing the data during autonomous driving by 90%. And that brings us to the end of today's show. Thanks for making Autoline a part of your day.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. CSP, the composites solution partner. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. And thanks to the following YouTube and Patreon members.
Developing today's vehicles. Issues can happen in an instant. When's the best time to solve a problem? The minute you know you have one. Meet Wireless NeoVi Cloud, your secure, off-the-shelf solution empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With Wireless NeoVi Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. Driver communication data and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless NeoVi Cloud, your vehicle update solution in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
At CSP, we work with OEM engineers across the country on their journeys to lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly vehicles. Learn more at thecsp.com.
Performance that shines, even in the rain. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Potenza tires, improved grip in wet conditions.